Hey, it's Jason Lord-Surratt here. I haven't been uploading any videos for a while for all my 3 subscribers with my videos to get 1 or 2 views. The thing is, like, I'm not really putting these videos to kind of get notoriety. I'm just doing it because eventually I will be gone, and my voice is will be recorded, but I do speak. Oh, for my kids, because they'll be able to know more about their dad. That's a pretty cool reflection right there. That's really cool. Um, so I guess real quick, I'll just talk about the wall and the government shutdown. Um, Pretty much the issue is that there are too many issues that are being wrapped up into specific things, like the wall. Okay, the wall is a deterrent against illegal immigration. It is not a referendum on immigrants. It's a vanity piece by Trump that he wants, and he wants it because it will be a vanity piece. But I do know, I remember 2 years ago when he was talking about the wall originally, and the reason he was talking about it was because he had spoken to people on the border. I mean, he didn't bring the wall to himself and say, "I'm going to do this." Like, he was brought the wall based on what border officials, kind of spoke to him about when he was running. So it is a vanity project, but it's not something that is coming out of nowhere. So I don't really know. This government shutdown, it's so interesting to think about what is essential, who is essential, who's non-essential. And it's interesting to watch the narratives of the news kind of like provide fear, like, oh, well, there's 2 things. It's like, oh, like, no one's going to get their income tax returns. Like, and it's funny, it's like, wouldn't you consider that essential? Like, what is essential? It's like, or on the other side, they're like, well, we the border patrol agents are like, oh, we're gonna do it regardless. Like, the thing is, I'm kind of unaffected by the exact issue of the wall and the government shutdown. What I find most interesting is what I consider like one of the most strongest political fights I've ever seen. Like a real fight, like not fake news, not propaganda, not even coming from a place of misdirection. Like, this government shutdown is one of the most interesting political things I've ever seen. I mean, I'm not talking about even like wars or relief funds, but to see 2 parts of the government act like petulant children and just say no, 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 no. It's wild. Now, the reason I paused there is because you can go two ways. You could say they're acting like petulant children because they're not getting in the way. They could either just give money for the wall, or they could just say, hey, I don't need a wall. It's like, it has become such a specific and simplistic idea, but it's wrapping up with immigration and everything. Now, just to switch to immigration, it's like, I'm down for, well, okay. I'll say what I was going to say. Like, I'm down for fast tracking immigration, because people here working, being taxed, it's people. I don't mind it. I don't care. It can be the immigration process could last a day. I don't care. I mean, obviously, someone and anyone could push back, and then it was like a week. Okay, how about whatever. It doesn't matter really. Or, the Democrats could be like, hey, listen, every single person that's on this side of the wall by the time the wall is finished is an American citizen. Can you do that? And I'm sure Trump would be like, sure, I don't care. Because once the wall is up, then there's people who are physically breaking the law. I mean, because walking across a desert from one place to another, I don't consider that legal. I don't. I understand like the borders and everything, but like if I'm a person and I'm walking from here to there, I don't think that should be illegal. Now, if I'm a person walking from here to there and there's a wall, I have a choice. If I know jumping over that wall is illegal, and if I want to do it right, then I would have to walk to where there's a gate where I can say, hey, yo, I'm trying to get in. If there's a wall, legality and illegality is represented based on a person's actions when they approach that wall. So, yeah. So I guess where I fall on this is what's important is that our leaders stopped acting like children. Like, this is ridiculous. Like, I've had new bosses and I didn't like them, but you gotta do it. I mean, I met people from the inner workings of the government. And they, in a friendly situation, believing that they were in like-minded company, started explaining that I'm using they as a pronoun because I don't want to expose anybody because they're nice people. I'm not saying they're bad people, but they, with their own mouths and their own words, broke down how they were slow walking or not doing things that were requested of them. Government people in the immigration world, they were being asked things and they were like, well, we're just not going to do it because we're unhappy with the president. And I just laughed. I was like, wow, if I did that, I'd get fired. But like, no, we're not going to get fired. We're just not going to do anything. So long story short is, this is an obvious behavior of both Democrats and Donald Trump. And I'm not going to call him a Republican. He's not. It's an obvious act of petulant children. And the Democrats should just say, you know what? Here's $4,000 to get the wall, $4 billion to get the wall started. Trump, should be like, all right, cool. We're going to do some DACA stuff. And Congress, it's on you to get a bill in front of him so that he can sign it. Like, the immigration issue is not an executive issue. It's a legal issue that Congress needs to figure out. But everyone's putting it on Donald Trump, and it doesn't make any sense. We just had this primaries, and we had all these people voted in, and like, we're not focusing on the right things. Anyway, I've just been rambling on for 8.7 minutes plus now, I guess. I just wanted to vote. And I mean, I wanted to vote. I just wanted to speak out and tell you how I was feeling. This government shutdown is one of the most interesting things because I don't see how these two parties, these two sides are going to actually come together, because the Democrats are like, never you, Trump, never, you're not going to get anything. And if they give him anything, then they lose. And Trump is like, well, I want this. And if he gives up, he loses. I will be critical of Trump at this point. Because people are like, oh, whatever. But I will be critical of Trump at this point. He's got to do better. He's going to lose. I don't know. You know what? I don't know. I feel like the value of this fight is it indicative or representative of fights in the future? I mean, like, for example, before the new year, or before the new presidency, he's going to do universal health care. He's going to do some crazy stuff that everyone's going to love him about. So is this it's just a small thing, just a wall, and they can't even give him that. Anyway, I don't care about the wall. I mean, I think the wall should be tied into a jobs program, because we're going to bring all these military people home, and then we're going to release all these people from imprisonment. then they're going to need jobs. So if you have a jobs program so these people can go and do things to help the country, then that can also build on the infrastructure. Not only are we helping people, we're improving the country, we're improving our economy, we're improving the people's lives, we're giving people things to do that improve everything. Like, why don't you just change the conversation? Instead of being like, protect the border, it's like, we can protect the border, but that is just something that we are doing. We're also fixing tracks. We're also, it's like there's so many things. And you'd be giving, and all that money that is going to the military would go to the Army Corps of Engineers, and they'd be building things, and it'd be great. I mean, they've had a poor track record, but whatever. I don't tie the wall to immigration. The immigration policy should be shortened, and there should be an easier way to become acclimated into the American society. And I think that Americans on this side of the fence should build something like that. Like housing next to schools. Like we can build a whole town, and we can and have better relationships. Like, pretty much, long story short, it's just so confusing, and I just haven't made a video in a while. I mean, it's not confusing, but it's so interesting. Like, I don't even really comment too much on Facebook about it because the issue is just so filled with nonsense and also understandably something real. Anyway, I'm gonna head out. I hope you understand that this is not a video for people. It's just for me trying to figure out how I feel about things. I'll see you on the flip side. Peace.